Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to my channel. My name is PK. This is Bookeemonsters. And it is Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. Maybe if we say it enough, it will feel real. I don't know. We are here to look at new releases that are set into the wild this week. And on Tuesdays, we look at regular mysteries. Yesterday, we looked at cozy mysteries. There were a lot, but having the day off, we were able to look at all of them for the week, which was kind of fun. There's always a lot of them, which was kind of weird. Announcements. Tonight, we have sprints. They are at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. And they'll go for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, work on a project, or just close your eyes after a day. Whatever it is you want to do that makes you happy, that is your time. Good morning, Cajun. How are you doing? Hope you had a good night. Hey, Annalise. Long time no see. Absolutely. You guys are going to get sick of me. So let's see what's up there. Hang on a second. Coffee's required. I slept well last night, pretty much, other than, the usual a couple times, but because I didn't nap yesterday. I was trying to get back into the routine. But coffee is definitely helpful. Okay. Let's go to this one first. And I'm going to close that tab, and I'm going to close that tab. Anna, a novel. That doesn't look like a mystery to me, by Matthew Blake. It looks more like horror. And it says it's a thriller. What if your nightmares weren't really nightmares at all? We spend an average of 33 years of our lives asleep. We wish. But what really happens is, what are we capable of when we sleep? Anna Ogilvy was a budding 25-year-old writer with a bright future. Then, one night, she stabbed 2 people to death with no apparent motive and hasn't woken up since. Dubbed Sleeping Beauty by the tabloids, Anna's condition is a rare psychosomatic disorder known to neurologists as resignation syndrome. Dr. Benedict Prince is a forensic psychologist and an expert in the field of sleep-related homicides. His methods are the last hope of solving the infamous Anna O case and waking Anna up so she can stand trial. I wouldn't want to wake up either. But he must be careful treating such a high-profile suspect. He's got career secrets and a complicated personal life of his own. As Anna shows the first signs of stirring, Benedict must determine what really happened and whether Anna should be held responsible for her crimes. Only Anna knows the truth about that night, but only Benedict knows how to discover it, and they're both in danger from what they find out. Oh, I get it. It's Anna O. That circle. See, that's bad. It looks like just a circle around the word a novel and not the letter O, which should be a little bit more elongated on the sides, maybe. Deceptive. I mean, whatever. They don't listen to me. Annalise says, oh, I love napping. Can't see to do them. Oh, I know. It does sound very interesting. I wish it had like a better title or something, because it just doesn't. That didn't pull me in until I read what it was about. First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. Evie Porter has everything a nice Southern girl could want: a perfect doting boyfriend, a house with a white picket fence and a garden, and a fancy. We read this, didn't we? Fancy group of friends. The only catch: Evie Porter doesn't exist. The identity comes first. Evie Porter. Once she's given a name and location by her mysterious boss, Mr. Smith, she learns everything there is to know about the town and the people in it. Then the mark. Ryan Sumner. The last piece of the puzzle is the job. Evie isn't privy to Mr. Smith's real identity, but she knows this job will be different. Ryan has gotten under her skin, and she's starting to envision a different sort of life for herself. But Evie can't make any mistakes, especially after what happened last time. Because the one thing she's worked her entire life to keep clean, the one identity she could always go back to, her real identity, just walked right into this town. Evie Porter must stay one step ahead of her past while making sure there's still a future in front of her. The stakes couldn't be higher, but then Evie has always liked a challenge. Intriguing also. Here in Avalon, it's an interesting cover. I mean, nice colors. Here in Avalon by Tara Isabella Burton. What comes to mind is Here in Xanadu, if you were familiar with kind of bad music. What wasn't bad music? Olivia Newton-John and ELO. I always loved ELO. Sidetrack. Let's get back on track here. An enchanting, for a mystery thriller, New York City fairy tale about two sisters that fall under the spell of an underworld cabaret troupe that might be a dangerous cult, but one that makes the materialist world left in its wake feel like a sinister cult itself. Why does this sound more like fantasy? Rose has come a long way. Raised and often neglected by a wayward mother in New York City's chaotic bohemia, Rose has finally built the life she's always wanted: a good job at a self-help startup, a clean apartment, and engagement to a stable, if self-satisfied tech CEO who shares her faith in human potential, hard work, and the sacrifice of childish dreams. Rose's sister Cecilia, on the other hand, never grew up, irresponsible and impetuous, prone to jetting off to a European monastery one month and a falcon rescue the next. Cecilia has spent her life in pursuit of fairy tale narratives of transcendence and true love, grand ideas Rose never work out in the real world. This kind of what I'm wondering if they took this from like Sense and Sensibility. When Cecilia declares she's come home to New York for good following the ending of a whirlwind marriage, Rose hopes Cecilia might finally be ready to face adulthood, compromises and all. But when Cecilia gets involved with the Avalon, a culture-sounding cabaret troupe, one that appears only at night on a mysterious red boat that travels New York's waterways and soon vanishes, one of a growing number of suspicious disappearances among the city's lost and loneliest souls. The only way Rose can find Cecilia is by tracking down the Avalon herself. But as Rose gets closer to solving the mystery of what happened to her sister, the Avalon works its magic on her too. And the deeper she goes into the Avalon's underworld, the more the more she begins to question everything she knows about her own life and whether she's willing to leave the world behind. That sounds more like fantasy. Midnight by Amy McCulloch. It's another thriller, once in a lifetime trip to Antarctica. To camp beneath the legendary midnight sun comes a desperate battle for survival against a killer determined to follow the prey to the ends of the earth. The sun never sets, and this killer never sleeps. Olivia Campbell has always dreamed of spending a sunlit night on the frigid Antarctic continent. But as an actuary who assesses risk for a living, she never imagined she would have the chance. So when her career takes an unexpected detour and her boyfriend, a high-powered art dealer with a taste for the finer things in life, decides to stage an ostentatious career-making auction on a luxury liner to Antarctica, Olivia is thrilled. That is, until things start to feel a bit strange. In addition to the scores of wealthy patrons and potential buyers, they'll also be traveling alongside a small group of beleaguered employees of Pioneer Adventures, the company responsible for managing the ship, and their charismatic, divisive CEO. When the first bodies are discovered, it's easy enough for Olivia to write it off as a terrible accident. But as the situation heats up and the temperatures continue to plummet, she begins to wonder whether she might have booked a one-way ticket to her own demise. Well, you really didn't book it, you just followed your boyfriend. Just saying. Rabbit Hole by Kate Brody. A twisty, sexy debut. Conspiracy theories from Reddit seduce a disaster-prone woman into an obsession with solving her older sister's cold case disappearance. 10 years ago, Theodora Teddy Engstrom's older sister Angie went missing. Her case remains unsolved. Now Teddy's father, Mark, has killed himself. Unbeknownst to Mark's family, he had been active in a Reddit community fixated on Angie, and Teddy can't help but fall down the same rabbit hole. Teddy's investigation quickly gets her in hot water with her gun nut boyfriend, her long-lost half-brother, and her colleagues at the prestigious high school where she teaches English. Further complicating matters is Teddy's growing obsession with Mickey, a charming amateur sleuth who is eerily keen on helping her solve the case. Bewitched by Mickey, Teddy begins to lose her moral compass. As she struggles to reconcile new information with old memories, her erratic behavior reaches a fever pitch, but she won't stop until she finds Angie or destroys herself in the process. The Ascent by Adam Plantinga. When a high security prison fails, a down on his luck cop and the governor's daughter are going to have to team up if they're going to escape in this debut thriller. Argento, an ex Detroit street cop who can't let injustice go and who has the fighting skills to back up his idealism. That's not a sentence. If he sees a young girl being dragged into an alley, he's going to rescue her and cause some damage. When he does just that in a small, corrupt Missouri town, he's brutally beaten and thrown into a maximum security prison. Julie Wakefield, a grad student who happens to be the governor's daughter, is about to take a tour of the prison. But when a malfunction in the security system releases a horde of prisoners, a fierce struggle for survival ensues. Argento must help a small band of staffs and civilians, including Julie and her two state trooper handlers, make their way from the bottom floor to the roof to safety. All that stands in their way are 6 floors of the most dangerous convicts in Missouri. Okay. The Lost Van Gogh by Jonathan Sentlofer. I'm familiar with that name. I don't know if I've read any of his. For years, there have been whispers that before his death, Van Gogh completed a final self-portrait. Curators and art historians have savored this rumor, hoping it could illuminate some of the troubled artist's many secrets, but even they have to concede that the missing painting is likely lost forever. But when Luc Perron, artist and great-grandson of the man who stole the Mona Lisa, and Alexis Verde, daughter of a notorious art thief, discover what may be the missing portrait, they are drawn into most epic art puzzles. Come on, people, grammar. When only days later the painting disappears again, they are reunited with Interpol agent John Washington Smith in a dangerous and deadly search for what will not only expose secrets of the artist's last days, but draws them into one of history's darkest eras. Beneath the paint and canvas, beneath the beauty and the legend, the artwork has become linked with something evil, something that continues to flourish on the dark web and on the shadiest corridors of the underground art world. Okay. Some interesting elements. The Sun's Secret by Daryl Woodgerber. Oh, look at that. They've got 2 different tabs here on Amazon. What if you're the only one who believes your son is missing? Maggie Lawson is the smart, capable dean of a boutique college, but even the most confident mother has a weakness, her child. When Maggie can't reach her college senior son, Aiden, to tell him that his father has been shot, she starts to panic. She texts, she calls. Is Aiden ghosting her, or have the dangerous stories Aiden's father, her investigative journalist ex-husband, pursues finally brought trouble to her door? Maggie is sure that something is very wrong, but no one believes her. As dark events unfold, she must rely on her own investigative instincts to find Aiden. But when Maggie uncovers a devastating secret, she faces a race against time to save him. A Plague of Souls by Mike McCormick. This looks like a... Oh, interesting. Follow-up to Booker-listed literary sensation Solar Bones is a terse metaphysical thriller. Nealon returns from prison to his house in the west of Ireland to find it empty. No heat or light, no sign of his wife or child. It is as if the world has forgotten or erased him. Then he starts getting calls from a man who claims to know what's happened to his family, a man who'll tell Nealon all he needs to know in return for a single meeting. In a hotel lobby, in the shadow of an unfolding terrorist attack, Nealon and the man embark on a conversation shot through with secrets and invasions, a verbal game of cat and mouse that leaps from Neelan's past in childhood to the motives driving a series of international crimes launched against a world so wretched it can only be redeemed by an act of revenge. McCormick's existential noir is a terse and brooding explanation, etc., etc. Interesting. It's not getting very many stars, though. Broadcast Blues by R.G. Belsky, sixth in the Claire Carlson mysteries. Wendy Kyle took secrets to her grave. Now Claire Carlson is digging them up. New York City has no shortage of crime, making for a busy schedule for TV newswoman Claire Carlson, but not all crimes are created equal. And when an explosive planted in a car detonates and kills a woman, Claire knows it'll be a huge story for her. But it's not only about the story. Claire also wants justice for the victim, Wendy Kyle. Wendy had sparked controversy as an NYPD officer, ultimately getting kicked off the force after making sexual harassment allegations and getting into a physical altercation with her boss. Then she started a private investigations business catering to women who suspected their husbands of cheating. Undoubtedly, Wendy had angered many people with her work, so the list of her suspected murderers is seemingly endless. Despite the daunting investigation, Claire dives in headfirst. As she digs deeper, she attracts the attention of many rich and powerful people who will stop at nothing to keep her from breaking the truth about the death of Wendy Kyle and exposing their personal secrets that Wendy took to her grave. All right. Those were all ones I had pre-checked out. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry I left that up. This page hadn't gone to this week's books until just this morning, so I haven't had a chance to check these out, but we will after coffee, just a minute. All right. Deck the halls with danger, so we'll have to see if these are actually books for this week or not. We don't trust them. Trust but verify. 131 pages. Yep, back in December. Way back in December. Wow. This came out in December. Oh, I wonder if this was a part of the um, Kindle Unlimited monthly get one free. It says I have this, but it just came out yesterday. The Lies You Wrote by Brianna Lebusks, first of the Reza Susanto series. The double murder of a married couple in a small Washington town draws FBI forensic linguist Reza Susanto into an investigation that mirrors a decades-old crime. 25 years ago, to the day, Alex Parker murdered his parents, then took his own life, leaving behind a note admitting everything. Reza, paired with forensic psychologist Callum Kilkenny, uses her skills to read between the lines, especially now that paranoid postings on a conspiracy thread suggest that Alex was a victim himself. Theories have piqued the interest of a perceptive content moderator and a true crime podcaster eager for a big break. As old and new crimes converge, messages from the living and the confessions of the dead take on new meaning for Reza. Something more sinister than a copycat crime is at play, and plundering the darkest corners of a killer's mind leaves her vulnerable to a deadly twist even she never saw coming. That does sound interesting to me. I'm glad I got it. Fragile Designs. Double checking. Yep. By Colleen Cobble. There's only one thing more dangerous than family secrets. Since her police officer husband Eric's mysterious murder, Carly Harris has been struggling to support herself and their infant son. Her career as an antique dealer isn't sustainable, nor is her dream of becoming a novelist. So when her grandmother proposes, she and her two sisters restore the family's large Beaufort home and turn it into a bed and breakfast. She immediately gets to work clearing out the house. In the process, she uncovers a family secret that Eric kept hidden, and an heirloom that the wrong person wouldn't hesitate to kill for. Homicide detective Lucas Bennett isn't his neighbor's biggest fan, not since she broke his brother's heart years ago. But when Carly turns to Lucas for help, believing she's found a lost Fabergé egg that would be worth millions and that could put her family's lives in danger, he can't help but get involved. Soon they're entangled in a mystery with threads that lead all the way to the Russian mafia. Lucas has gotten in deep, and while he trusts his ability to keep Carly and her family safe, he begins to realize he's vulnerable to an unexpected kind of danger, and he's helpless to stop the free fall. As they continue working closely together, Carly and Lucas realize they may have found something more precious than gold. Yet, it's only a matter of time before Carly, or worse, someone she loves, gets hurt. Romantic suspense. The Seventh Girl. Double checking. Yes. By Andy Maislin. First in the Detective Cat Valentine series. She thought he was gone. She was wrong. 15 years ago, a serial killer was on a rampage murdering young women in Middlehampton. Then suddenly the killing stopped and the murder was never found. So when the body of another young woman is found bearing the twisted killer's unique hallmark, the overpowering stench of lavender and an origami heart, DS Cat Valentine knows this can only mean one thing: the killer is back. For Kat, whose best friend was the killer's last victim all those years ago, this is deeply personal. She'll stop at nothing to prevent more women dying and bring her friend's murderer to justice, but the scent has gone cold once before. Kat will need all the help she can get in her investigation as she hunts down leads and encounters dead ends and horrifying twists. With time running out, can she finally crack the case and put a stop to the killings, or will she be the next victim? We are out of time, but we're going to check this last one just to say we got to everything. Sleeping with Friends. Why does that also sound familiar? But it came out yesterday. By Emily Schultz. When Mia Sinclair Croner wakes from a coma, what is coma week? All she can remember are the movies she's known and loved. Her college friends quickly assemble for a weekend party in an effort to help her remember. With old friends come old wounds, and it soon becomes clear that Mia's accident might not have been an accident at all. Was it Agnes, driven by her unspoken resentments, or Zoe, who covets everything Mia has? Has the years apart only fanned the extinguished flame between Ethan and Mia, compelling him to violence? Or did Victor, who moved away, return with an agenda? Or was it Martin, the wealthy husband who put a country estate between Mia and her past? As old tensions and new suspicions rise, these friends must wade through their film knowledge, shared history, and everything that's kept them apart in order to figure out which one of them is trying to end things once and for all. With friends like that, just saying. And that's all we have time for. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you watching, either now or later. If you like what you see, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification button, because you never know when we're going to be doing spontaneous things. Otherwise, we'll be here tomorrow morning. We'll be looking at the romances that are being set into the wild this week. And tonight we do have sprints at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. So I hope you have a good Tuesday. We're back in the coal mines again. We can do this. It's okay. And I hope you're reading good books. And if you're not enjoying it, it's okay to set it down. It's just not the right time. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.